Well, this week we're gonna take a look at a little package from AliExpress again, and this is a floating light thingy. It's a bunch of LEDs and they're lighting up in a certain way. So let's get to it. If you take a look at this board, we see a couple of components that do not have any holes for them. We have to solder them right onto the board, just like in previous videos we tried that. And we have to do this for 2 chips and a couple of resistors. So let's flux them. Alright, so I put flux on these little connectors, and now I have to put a chip on it. It's a really small thingy, and I have to flow solder over those legs to attach it to the board. But the problem is, because it's very small, the chance that you put solder between those legs is pretty big. But I have an idea. I'm just gonna put a chip on the board and I will flow solder on it just like a madman. Just throw it on, and then I will try to remove the solder between the legs with my solder sucking thingy like I showed in the last video. Let's try that. Right, as you can see now, there's solder everywhere. But now I'm gonna use my sucker, whatever you call it, and gently remove the solder between those legs. Now I think this is gonna work. Look at that, it works perfect. All the legs are hold on to the board and there's no solder between it. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I'm proud of myself. Now I know this works, I can do exactly the same for the other chip. Well, as you can see, it works really great. So that's a good tip. Buy a solder sucking device and do it like this. Perfect. Okay, since this is done, we have to move on to the next components, and those are the resistors. The resistors for the project are the same as the chips. We have to solder them on top of the board, so no pins, no holes and stuff. We're gonna do the same, so we're gonna flux all the contacting points, and we're gonna throw solder on it and try to push these little resistors on top of that. Hope it will work. The little resistors come inside a strip. It's a kind of foam, and the resistors are kind of pressed in there, and there's a tape on the back, so I have to remove the tape to get the resistors out. These things are so small. I think this is gonna go wrong. I've never been more right about predicting something will go wrong, because this tape is really catched up really hard, and it's sticky tape, so the resistors are stuck to the tape, and once I peel off the tape, the resistors fall out on the table, and they're so small I think I have a problem. So trying not to mess up too much, I'm gonna collect those little things, put them in a tray, and make sure they don't get lost. Alright, I got them in the tray. I counted them and I got them all. And well, tray. It's not really a tray, it's a lid of my flux can. But now I have to try to get them on this board. Let's see how that goes. These things are really fucking small. I should really stop making these videos on Sunday morning with a hangover. I think I've done it. This one is on the board. So let's move on to the rest. Well, job done. They're on. But if you look closely to the board, there are another 4 places to put on these little tiny thingies. And those are capacitors. Same process basically. Just throw them on. Okay, I sorted them, I fluxed them, I'm ready to do this. Here we go. Two of those 4 were resistors and 2 are capacitors, so they're not all capacitors. The resistors are on now, and now we have to put on the capacitors. This is horrifying, but okay, with my little shaky hands and my headache, I will throw them on and just make this whole thing happen. it's done. It's finally done. So next time I buy something from AliExpress, I will take a sharp look if there are little capacitors, chips and stuff. I won't buy it anymore. Well, the good thing is, now this is done, the rest of the components are components you can actually hold in your hand. They are physically seeable. So we're gonna throw those on and see what happens. The first thing I'm gonna attach is the power connector. They're just two metal pins. You can throw your power on later. And if you had a good look, you could see that the variable resistor is already on the board. I have no idea when I did that, how I did that, but it's there. Great. And all we have to do now is solder in all those LED lights. Again, there's a positive and a negative side on the LED, because an LED is basically a diode, and on this board there's no marking for it, so I hope I do it right. All the LEDs are in place, and I will clip off those pins later. But now, I wanted to test the device, and I connected to my power supply, and then my camera stopped recording. I don't know why. So what happened is that I connected my power supply. I didn't look at my power supply, just I threw on 24 volts instead of 3 or 5 volts, and the chip blew. After that I tried it again, and if you take a good look at the chip, you'll see a little hole there. That's where the smoke came out. Unfortunately, after I powered it again, no smoke again, so this is really an anticlimax. Story of my life. Well, as you can see, nothing's happening, no lights coming on, no smoke's coming out, nothing at all. So, another failed project. Let us play that music for a while and then just call it a day. Bye bye.